The finals takes place in a not-so-distant future, and in this not-so-distant future, the world is far more unified, but it's also heavily shaped by technology and corporations. And the people in the real world, aka the meat space, plug into VR to disconnect from their everyday life.
And that's where the finals comes in. The world's greatest game show, a spectacle of a competition where contestants plug in from the meat space and they're competing for fame and for glory, and the whole world is watching. And of course, when something becomes a cultural phenomenon, opportunities arise. And that's where Multico comes in.
Multico is like a conglomerate of companies that are dominating the meat space with their various products. And Multico is all about control. And when they first enter the finals, they take a little nibble. They start the Multico Early Talent Program, and a little later they get the opportunity to actually buy the show. And when they do, they go all in.
We head into season 1, and that's essentially the start of Multico's vision for the finals. With them in charge, the broadcasts are now bigger, bolder, more commercialized. And of course, we got our commentators, right? Scotty and June, two key characters in the finals.
I swear my fridge judged me last night.
It knows things, Scotty. Cold things.
No, it doesn't.
You know, something interesting about Scotty, because he was a contestant before Multico took over. He played for some time, became quite famous, then retired for a bit, but then once Multico took over, they brought him back as a commentator. And now he's, the most notorious and beloved character that we have in the game. Of course, alongside June. She's the data analyst. It's almost like she can read the arena like a playbook, and they balance each other really well. And then, of course, we have the CEOs of all the sponsors. They are part of the board of Multico. And then I think it was around season 4 that we introduced Marcel, or as some people call him, Mercimus Marcel.
Well, we left the door open, and look who crashed the party.
He is the power in the shadows in Multico and represents Multico's interests.
But not everyone is happy with Multico's purchase of the finals. In the dark corners of the meat space, a loose collective forms, an entity that we know today as CNS. And for CNS, the finals is also a perfect place to affect the hearts and minds of people in the meat space. And the first season that we see them for real is season 2. That's where they stop being subtle. That's where they take a much bigger center stage in the finals. And that's the moment when we realize that something is going on behind the scenes.
From the moment CNS hacks into the finals, the game show turns into the tug of war between these two forces. So on one side, you have Multico, which is the more commercialized and corporate version of the show. And then on the other side, you have CNS, who is challenging that vision and who wants to bring back what they believe are the original ideals and philosophy behind the show.
But here's the thing, right? Both visions are compelling, depending on how you see it. And that's up to the player to decide, ultimately. As a contestant, you enter the finals, you're on the big stage, you're plugged in somewhere from the meat space, and you're competing, and you're chasing fame, and you're climbing the ranks. But as you progress, you realize that something is off. There's power struggles, there's conflicts, and all of these things the player gets to discover as they keep playing. And that's the beauty of it. The player gets to decide where they stand in this conflict.
One great example of when the conflict becomes more striking is in season 7, where we have the divide. That's where CNS really makes a push, and that insurgence, you would think the Multico would have a huge problem with that. Turns out they don't, because they love profits and viewers are up.
But in season 10, we're actually shaking things up a little bit, because we are breaking the tug of war between CNS and Multico, and we are bringing a third force. Now, this third force has been dormant for quite some time, and it's been quietly seeing what Multico and CNS have been doing with the finals. And now they have decided that it's time to step in and give their 2 cents about it. However, their only means of communication is through the finals itself.
So, originally, Multico and Alpha Acta had this beautiful medieval season planned out for season 10, right? But then something happens. This new force appears, and everything transforms. It's more magical, it's more fantastical, very unpredictable. And you can actually see that change in the season 10 trailer.
That tripolar conflict is something we're going to expand in the season to come. So where Multico controls, CNS disrupts, and this third force transforms.
We have started a new story in the finals. And then we've been very conscious to sprinkle everything across all the features in the game in season 10. I would love to see how players piece everything together. I love seeing everything that they come up with on social media and Discord because, yes, we do read those. So I can't wait to see what they come up with.
This is the moment where everything shifts in the world of the finals, turns into something grander. And I mean, this third force appearing with season 10, maybe we can leave them with this. Let's just say that the finals might be even more unpredictable than it's ever been.